I actually had a whole heck of a lot of respect for Karen this episode. I lost all my respect for Gizelle this episode. And can we talk about what the heck this outfit and look is, please? Hey guys, welcome back to Real Housewives Recaps. Today I'm covering Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 5, Episode 10, Sorry Not Sorry. And oh wow, what an episode. You guys, so much happened that we have to talk about. I just can't believe it. But I'm going to break tradition for this one, and instead of going scene by scene, I just want to jump in. I want to talk about thoughts on the episode. I want to hear your thoughts on the episode. I know what I think. I want to hear what you think. So let's get into it. Hey guys, I just want to take a second and say if you're enjoying this show, please check out my Patreon. Go to patreon.com, search Real Housewives Recaps, or check the comments below and I'll put a link. And for $1 a week, you can support my show and get 4 bonus episodes per month. I'm covering Scary Island, like the greatest season of Real Housewives of New York. So check it out. Thanks so much. Okay, so first of all, I'm probably going to contradict myself a lot this episode, but I just have so many thoughts I have to get out. And let's just get into it. So here's Candiace. Candiace, girl, you know the cameras are in your house, right? What's happening here? I just feel like, now I'm not saying she should have been hit. Believe me, I don't condone violence. But she is eating this shit up. Look at how she's dressed. She's just like, oh, poor me. I'm moping around my house. Look at this. I can't believe it. I can't believe she would do this out of nowhere. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Nowhere. And then we see this talking head look, and I'm reminded, oh yeah, she's a drama queen. That's what's going on here. So I'm not going to go scene by scene, but we are going to talk about, so Karen, before this whole thing, calls up Candiace and is like, hey, I'm having everybody over, and so Monique can talk about what happened. I just want you to know, basically you're not included, but if you want to come talk, it's my house, you'll be protected, that kind of thing. Candiace has to get a dig in at Karen and say, oh, it's nice that you're giving Monique that much grace. It's nice that you're extending that much grace to her. I thought it was nice what Karen's doing. You know, I'm not the biggest Karen fan historically. I'm just not. I think she's a little, full of herself. But I loved her this episode. I thought she was a voice of reason. This is so hard for me because I'm a big Monique fan. And P.S., before we get into this, if you have not watched my last week's video on what's going on behind the scenes, stop this video, go watch that. Because you'll get so much more insight as to what this fight's actually about and why it came to blows and what's going on with Monique and what's going on with Gizelle behind the scenes. It's just a lot of juice and tea and dirt and whatever else you want to call it. So go watch that so this one makes more sense. So Gizelle arrives, and this is hard for me because historically I have loved Gizelle, but I feel like I've had a breakup with Gizelle. That last week uncovering video that I did where it showed what's going on behind the scenes with her and a lot of things you guys have sent me that she's done behind the scenes. I don't know. I could see it more clearly this episode and it makes me sad, but no, not good. And she pissed me off this episode. She arrives with her bodyguard, which is a move straight out of Karen's playbook, by the way. So let's get into each of the women and where they stand on this issue, this fight, this Candiace versus Monique thing, and kind of talk about that because I'm really curious which side you're on, what you thought was right and wrong, who you agreed with, who you didn't care for this episode, that sort of thing. So let's start out with Karen here. It's her house. She's holding this meeting for Monique to come and address the group. So, I have full respect for Karen. I can admit when I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I have full respect for Karen this episode. I'm sure she'll piss me off soon, but right now I like her. So, what turned me around for her this episode is the way she stood by Monique. But I didn't think, the women accused her of blindly following Monique. I don't think that's what happened. She was more like, I'm willing to stand by you, but you gotta address this. And she's like, you gotta see that there's a problem here, but you made a mistake. It was a mistake. It was one mistake in our friendship. And so she's sticking by her, and I respect Karen for that. So let's talk about Gizelle. Oh, this is hard. Gizelle. So Gizelle pulls out her phone and starts making notes during Monique's speech to everybody. And that's just kind of a crappy thing to do. It's hostile. I didn't agree with it. It didn't show that she was fully listening to what Monique had to say. And you know what? I know I'm a Monique fan, I know, but I don't even care. If you don't agree with Monique, I get it. Believe me, I don't agree with what she did. I can't stand Candiace, but I don't think that you should ever lay a hand on somebody. So she was wrong. But it is weird how it's like Gizelle came looking for this fight, and she got it, so she's excited. So that way she can turn her back on Monique. And I didn't love that. I don't think that's what you do with a friend. So I didn't love I didn't love Gizelle this episode. You know what really bugged me is when she said that line about her and Jamal, the pastor, having an image to protect. That's bullshit. What kind of image does Jamal have? He's banged everybody. He's got like 7 baby mama, according to Gizelle's dad. So, no, I don't think you get to play that card. Aren't you not supposed to judge? Like, you're judging pretty hard there, Missy. So let's talk about Ashley. Ashley was not there for the fight, so she has a little different take on things. She came up right afterwards to see what was happening. So previously I loved Ashley, and then I got really annoyed with Ashley, and I'm still annoyed with Ashley because she's with that asshole and won't leave him. She puts up with so much from Michael, and that's a whole nother episode. I could talk 2 hours about how crazy that is. Okay, that aside. I liked Ashley this episode. Again, I thought she was kind of like Karen in that she's a little bit more level-headed about things. She didn't have this chip on her shoulder looking for a reason to be mad at Monique. Again, I understand if you're mad at Monique, but I'm not even talking about the fight itself. I'm just talking about the way she handled the aftermath. I thought Ashley was really sweet about it and was like, listen, I'm there for you. And even Karen acknowledged it at the end that was cool how Ashley handled things and that she understands that Monique made a mistake. You guys, I don't normally skip ahead, but I'm going to skip ahead. What the hell happened with Michael and Chris? Did you guys know that was coming? Because I sure didn't. The preview at the end where they are like about to punch each other in the face. Wow, that was kind of crazy. So let's talk about Wendy. I'm going to be honest. I am trying to like Wendy. I'm really trying. I am having a hard time. I am. Because even during this, she found a way to make it about her and her career. And I just get Lisa Rinna vibes almost. Not the same thirst, but it's like if it goes more than a minute without it being about her and what she wants to talk about, she's going to turn it back around there. So I'm just struggling a little bit with Wendy. I'm hoping I'm wrong. I'm hoping she had something interesting. I just haven't found it yet. It does look interesting in the preview next week, or I guess the upcoming season preview, where it's her and her mom fighting, but I don't know about all this. I don't know about Wendy. Anyway, Wendy had some strong opinions. She's talked about the things she's been through. I will give her credit. She does bring up that she's been called terrible names and hurtful things and the worst things said about her, but she's never resorted to using her fists to solve it. So I get it. I understand why she may be a bit more sensitive to this issue and why she didn't, she reacted so strongly against what Monique did. Okay, but seriously, what is this outfit? What is this look? What is it? 1980s prom? I don't know. I don't. The hair is so bad. I don't get it. Okay, moving on. Oh, Robyn. I don't know what to say about Robyn. There were times where I a little bit got her point, especially when she said Candiace makes you want to slap the shit out of her. I'm with you, girl. I want to slap shit out of her too. But doesn't mean you should. I'm telling myself that too. Okay. I don't know. Robyn, she kind of bugged me a little bit too. She felt like she had her mind made up. She wasn't willing to listen. And again, maybe I'm Team Monique. I've admitting I'm wrong in the past and up to this point, so maybe I'm wrong about this, but I just didn't love that Robyn came in with her mind made up and she would not listen. And even when Monique was trying to calm down, she did hold Dean, and Robyn said, "Look, she's kissing babies," which I thought was actually kind of funny for her to say, but I don't know that I agree with that. Okay, so before we get to Monique, let's switch over to the drama queen, Candiace. So she's gone to see her therapist, and I'm so not a Candiace fan. And then, again, finding out what's really going on behind the scenes and all the destructive stuff they were trying to do to Monique's family, if you believe that, I choose to believe it, then I'm really not a Candiace fan. This face to me says it all. Like, I'm the center of attention. I'm happy to be here. I'm not saying she's happy to get hit, but she sure likes the attention. And she's going to milk this for the rest of the season and for the rest of her life and everywhere else. I love this therapist. I liked him before and I like him now because he's like trying to say, well, do you feel like you had a role in any of this? No, I didn't. Okay, no, I'm not saying it's her fault she got hit, but I'm saying this bitch knows how to smack talk. She knows what buttons to hit, and she knows what she's doing. And so for them to not acknowledge that is a little nuts. So here's where I'm probably going to annoy you a little bit because I'm going to change my tune. I love Monique. I am Team Monique in general. I'm not Team Monique on this one. She went too far. She used her fists. I understand more behind the scenes now that I've, you again, look at the other video, you'll understand. But it doesn't make it right. As much as I'd love to hit Candiace, it doesn't make it right. She shouldn't have hit her. Shouldn't have pulled her hair. It does sound like Gizelle, Miss Holier Than Thou, was involved in the hair pulling too. They're finding out, watching the tapes. But anyway, so Monique's trying to explain this to everybody, and I guess where I fell short with Monique and what I didn't love is she wasn't remorseful at all. I think she's believing, I don't want to say her lies, but kind of her lies about getting hit with a glass first and then pulling hair. But come on, we know that's not what happened. And the editors showed where she was recounting her story right after it happened, and it was a little different than this story. So I don't know. So Wendy, Gizelle, and Robyn are calling her out on not being remorseful, while Karen and Ashley do realize that she's made a mistake and want to move on and forgive her for this mistake. So maybe they're all right and all a little bit wrong. I don't know. I mean, it's a big issue, and again, it led to physical violence, which is awful, but there's just so much going on behind the scenes that they're not showing, apparently. Supposedly, if you believe Monique, at least, that's what she's saying. But, I don't know, it was an interesting episode. So much to it. So much went down. And this is where I need to hear your thoughts. I'm very curious. You guys told me so much, the last 2 weeks about your feelings. And I think most of you said you would have beat the crap out of Candiace. I get it. But I'm curious to know if your thoughts changed after this episode. If you felt like one of the ladies was being too harsh or not seeing the things the right way. Am I not seeing things the right way? I hope you know by now that I accept both sides of the argument as long as we save the hostility for the housewives. You can say whatever you want. Like, I just don't like when people are mean. But other than that, like, you can say whatever you want. If you're team Karen, if you're team Gizelle, if you're team Robyn, that's cool. I want to hear why. I really want to hear, because I don't know. You guys bring such valid points to everything, and I just love to discuss this. So let's get into a discussion about it. What did you think? What did you think about the episode? What do you think about Monique? What did you think about her apology? So then we get a look at the mid-season trailer, and there's some stuff to come. Ashley is still dealing with Michael. Ugh. Gizelle is having her issues with Jamal. We see Wendy and her mom getting into a fight. Again, going back to her career, her education, the only thing she can talk about. We see Juan versus Robyn at the therapy office. Candiace's mom is back. Ugh, no thank you. Candiace is still being very Candiace about things. And then, you guys, we see some sort of huge blow up between Chris and Michael Darby. Michael Darby. Bleh. So, very curious to see what starts that and what's going on there. Well, that is it for the show. Such a good episode. Such a good season. I love Potomac. I love talking about this stuff. You guys have made it so much fun. It's just been so great to recap, especially coming off that god-awful Beverly Hills. This is great. So if you're enjoying my recaps, I encourage you to check out Patreon. Just give it a look. $1 a week. You get 4 episodes a month. I'm going over the Scary Island season. So much stuff is happening. That's the one where Lou first records her music, and it's Ramona renews herself, and Scary Island, and Bethany and Jason. So much stuff. It's incredible. But thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave me a comment below. I love the comments. You can comment here. You can find me on Twitter at Real Recaps. And I just appreciate everything. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode and have a fantastic week. Check back every day for new episodes. Bye-bye.